Hey YouTube, Anna here. It has been so long since I've seen you guys. So I wanted to give you a much needed update on my life. And yesterday I tried to record something. Yeah, it's YouTube. But I realized that I was missing like a huge chunk of the story, and so I wrote things down when my husband got home, and now I have 3 videos to make. So, my first update will just be like a general update. What have I been doing? Why did I take such a long leave of absence from YouTube? And just a little bit about Cecilia. I'm out of breath. So we've been traveling. That's why I haven't made any videos. I am not public with my videos. Meaning like my friends and family don't know, except for like a handful of people. So when I travel, I don't really vlog. I had some downtime to actually vlog, but I had 0 time to edit with all of the packing and unpacking and washing, and then packing again, and making sure that we have all of her supplies. So we made this list on Google Keep, and it's great because Doug can check things off the list and it checks off my list too. And you can save your list. So what we did is we made a huge packing list for Cecilia, and her packing now is sort of like second nature. We could just sort of like bang them out. Boom, boom, boom. However, I forget things for myself. Oh well. The first trip that we took, I forgot mascara. That's weird, because I wear mascara every day. Anyway, so the first trip that we went on was to Oregon to visit my family, and traveling out there was awesome. She slept for the entire flight. I mean, it was all good. The only thing that I absolutely hated about flying was I wrapped her in the boba, so she was in this nice little nest, and as soon as we were gonna take off, they were like, you have to take her out of your wrap. She has to be in your arms. And I was like, what? She's sleeping. It didn't disturb her, so that was fine. The second and third and fourth and fifth time that I flew, it disturbed her, and there was hell to pay. Like, she was just screaming constantly. So, yeah, I took her out, and it was weird, and I was like, it doesn't make sense. So I totally, honestly want to write a letter to, like, the not American Airlines, the Airline Association, because it doesn't make sense. If my baby's asleep and in a wrap, and God forbid anything happen, at least I have both of my arms free to put on my mask before I put on her mask and, like, get us out of there with 2 arms. Like, that's a huge benefit. I don't know why it would be against the rules. So we were visiting my family, and it was the first time my dad got to see her, which was awesome. Like, he absolutely adores her. He's also terrified of, like, her being upset. So she was kind of, I mean, he was a stranger to her, so she was kind of just like reluctant and kind of like, and my dad's like, here, take her, take her, take her, take her. And, like, didn't want to try to calm her down at all, and it was really funny. But on the last day, she fell asleep, and he had made me breakfast, and so I was like, can you hold her while I eat? And I just kind of put her, like, I rolled her into his arms, and he sat there on his recliner, like, really uncomfortable, and I was like, do you want a pillow under your arm? And he's like, no, 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 I got it. And then after I was done eating, I was like, do you want me to take her back? And he's like, yeah, I think she's uncomfortable. And I was like, I think you're uncomfortable, but okay, I'll take her back. So it was really cute. Like, he just, and we got professional pictures taken, and I really, really liked the way they turned out. She was 5 months at the time, and she's a weird little fuzzy in her hair, in her tangle and hair. Anyway, so I like the way they turned out, and my dad has never posed for like a portrait or anything, so it was kind of a cool experience to get him to sit with us, and then my in-laws were there too. So it was awesome. They've done plenty of professional portraits, so they were pros. So they were like, oh yeah, I know how to do this. Hello. And they're super photogenic, so all of the pictures turned out really well of them. So that's good. So the first weekend that we were there, we got to meet with Doug's grandparents, so Cecilia's great-grandparents, and like he's 80-something and she's 80-something. I don't know their ages. And but what was sad is, like 6 days after we had that meeting, the great-grandfather passed away suddenly. Was complaining of a headache and just had some issues. So we rearranged our flight. Hi, do you want to stand? Oh, you want your board book? Here you go. We rearranged our flight so that we could actually go to the memorial, which was really nice to be there for. Hi. Hi. But it was just, and we got to see a lot of Doug's extended family. Yeah, from all over Oregon and from California, so that was, whoa, really nice. So, something that I should probably put in my travel video that I'm going to make is when we went to Oregon, we brought a bunch of extra stuff, like extra teethers, really cheap ones that we got like a 3-pack for $3. Let's sit you down. You want to sit down? So we left a bunch of teethers and like her baby soap and just random like extra spoons and stuff for her to like be comfortable next time that we go, because we plan on going again soon. Yeah, and my in-laws and my dad actually purchased a lot of different sort of baby things for her. So she actually had a crib at my dad's house, and I mean, she was 5 months, so she wasn't sleeping in her crib, and so she wasn't used to sleeping in a crib. She was used to sleeping in like a smaller, more confined bassinet. And so she woke up every 2 hours, had to be nursed. Like, she was having a lot of trouble sleeping in Oregon. So yeah, that was, but it was nice that he had a crib for her. I mean, next time we go, she's already sleeping in her crib, so she'll probably like it more and be comfortable with it. And then my in-laws bought her a jumper. I mean, not just her, they have other grandkids, but like a baby Einstein jumper, and she loved it. Like, it was the first time she's ever been in a jumper, and she loved it. So she was just bouncing and playing, and like, she was having a ball in that. They also got her a high chair, and they had a pack and play that had the bassinet in it, which she was more used to, and so she slept better at my in-laws' house. And the pack and play also had a changing station that was removable, so it was really convenient. Like, they really went above and beyond. They even got a new bed for that room, for the guest room, so Doug and I were really comfortable. Yeah, it was really nice. But we left a bunch of stuff there for her. She hated the car seat while we were in Oregon. Like, as soon as we got off the plane, she just cried hysterically once we put her in her car seat. And and didn't want to be there. We eventually broke down and got one of those mirrors for her, and for like us to see her in the back seat and for her to see herself, and she calmed down quite a bit. So I think she was just used to a certain way of driving, and since she didn't have any of those comforts, she freaked out. It was not very good. While we were out there in Oregon, I was hanging out with my mother-in-law. We're super close. Like, very, very close. She is a huge Disney freak. Like, you think that like, the nursery is all Disney, and like we go to Disney World a lot. She has like huge cabinets filled top to bottom. I will try to get a clear picture of it and show you guys. But anyway, huge Disney fan, and she was showing me something on her tablet, and she had this browser open that was YouTube, and she was looking up Disney engagements. Hi! And I was like, oh, that's cool. And she's like, oh my gosh, I wonder if they have Disney gender reveals. Because she was there when we did the Disney gender reveal. And I was like, oh, she's gonna find me. And of course, nobody knows that I do YouTube. So I was like, I should probably tell her before it's all awkward, and she just stumbles upon a video. Hi! Yes. So I told her, I was like, oh, well, yes, there are Disney gender reveals because, well, I have mine and Lisa Marie has hers, and like, yeah, there's a lot of that. So I told her all about my YouTube journey and how much support and compassion and sisterhood I got from YouTube dealing with infertility, and she was like, that's great, oh, that's amazing, because she does like online forums where she just really reads the threads, she doesn't really participate, and so she kind of had a grasp of this sort of like online community where you can really get a lot of answers to your questions that maybe doctors don't have, or maybe somebody's going through something similar. So super supportive, awesome, couldn't have asked for a better like intro to, hey, I have a YouTube channel than that. I even asked her if she would be willing to do like a mom and daughter Q&A on infertility. Lisa Marie did one with her mom, and so I was like, yeah, I should take those questions and I should try to get her perspective, and she agreed. She said, yeah, she would totally do that, or a Disney one. Like, it was just great. So I'm sort of public in my family. I haven't told my dad yet, but my dad's super old school, like doesn't own a computer, so I don't know that he would actually care really, but it's okay. Let's see. Then we went to Boulder, Colorado, and we actually got to meet up with one of my husband's coworkers' family, and she just had a baby like 2.5 months after Cecilia was born, and so cute little baby. Ugh, you're heavy. And so we got to hang out and see all of those cute little developmental milestones, and I mean, it's just super adorable to hang out with the family. She had major sleep issues on that first 2 trips. She wouldn't sleep in her like hotel pack and play at all. It was bad. But while we were in Oregon, we actually got a sound machine, and it's over there, so I'm not going to grab it. And it started to work in Oregon, but really, I know you're getting so wiggly, but really we had to use it at home for an extended amount of time for it to really be effective when we were outside of our home. So it's like a 6 or 8 inch owl, and it has a projector on it that projects little stars on the ceiling, and its belly glows, and you could turn off all of the lights, so it's really nice. You want my shoe? You want my shoe? You can't have my shoe. I'm wearing it. What are you doing? What are you doing? So I turn off all the lights. The projector's not on, the belly doesn't glow, and I just have it on ocean waves. She loves it. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, there you go. Crawl. Okay, or roll. Let's see. Then we went to Las Vegas. So we've been to Vegas a bunch because my in-laws used to, like my brother-in-laws used to live there. And so we've been like a million times. So there's lots to do in Vegas besides just the Strip, but it was kind of nice because we had like little getaways. It was more of a vacation than any of these trips have ever been for me since Cecilia has been born. My father-in-law watched her while she was napping and then played with her a little bit, and I got to like go down to the casino and like hang out with my mother-in-law and like it felt more like a break than I've ever had before. And it was really nice because they were just like Cecilia was just up a few floors in the hotel that we were in, so I didn't feel like bad leaving her because I knew that I was just a phone call away and I could just run up there really quick. But I mean, they never called me to do anything. Like they were, except for the last time Doug and I tried to play bingo because we're old people and I love bingo. And she just, like, Cecilia was not having it. She was tired and cranky, and she just had a whole jar of prunes, so I'm sure she was poopy too. And yeah, so that was the only time that they were like, we can't get her to stop crying. But Doug and I got to have dinner. I mean, it was really nice. It was really nice. Let's see. Oh, my mother-in-law and father-in-law taught her how to drink out of a straw. So she had never had water or any other liquid other than breast milk at that point. And while they were kind of like hanging out and playing, they took their straw and dipped it in water and then like held the top of it and lifted it out so there was just a little bit of water at the bottom of the straw and put it in her mouth. And at first she was just kind of like, ah. But then she would like bite on it and it would sort of release the water, and then she started sucking on it. And so she learned how to use a straw over the course of like an hour. Which was awesome because we bought sippy cups that you have to tilt and press with your mouth, but she hates them. Like, it releases way too much water and it's crazy. So with the straw thing, we started looking for straw sippy cups and we found one from Munchkin that is the most amazing sippy cup that I've ever seen. It's a flexi straw. I know. It's a flexi straw, and so you have to like kind of bite it and suck to get the liquid in, and then at the what did you just toot? And then at the bottom it's like a little flexi straw at the bottom with a weight at the bottom. I'm saying bottom a lot, I'm sorry. And then whenever she tilts the cup or like turns her head, the weight follows where the liquid is. So if she's up like this, the weight just goes into the liquid, but if she's down like this, the weight stays at the bottom. And then if she turns, it also goes, I mean, like, it goes wherever the liquid is. And she drinks water now. Like, I give her 1 to 2 ounces a day, and only with solid foods, but she is obsessed with her sippy cup. If it's out in her line of sight, she will freak out until you give it to her. So that's been nice, except Doug like picked it up and was just playing with it while I was trying to get her to calm down, and she's like, ah! And I was like, what are you doing? Put away the sippy cup. And he's like, oh, sorry. But yeah, she's obsessed with that thing. Then we went back to Denver, Colorado for another trip, and we drove to Boulder and Denver, so there were no flying issues. It was all fine. We got to meet up with Doug's aunt and go to a nice restaurant and like hang out with family and friends that we have there, so it was really nice. And he kind of bribed me because at that point I was like, I am done traveling. I don't want to pack another suitcase. I don't want to have to unpack another suitcase. I'm sick of this. Like, I'm over it. So he bribed me by saying we could go to DSW. And I didn't find any shoes there that I liked, which really was upsetting. But he's like, well, we could also go to IKEA and American Girl. And I was like, oh, okay. So we went to the American Girl store, and I was such a tomboy growing up that I had no dolls. Like, I got a Barbie doll once, and I beheaded her, and I cut off all of her hair, and like, I wanted to play with trucks and cars, and like, I didn't like dolls. But the American Girl dolls are amazing. They're so cute. So we went around and we were like, this one looks like Cecilia. Oh, it's so cute. Look at all the accessories. I mean, they're freaking expensive. But we got to like walk around the store and sort of plan out the one doll that she might get when she's like, I don't know, 5. But it was really cool to sort of just hang out there. And then IKEA, I'm obsessed with IKEA. I love IKEA, and I really wish there was one in the state of New Mexico, but there's not. It's in Colorado. So whenever we go, we always stop at IKEA, and we just get stuff. Like, we go in there thinking we're not going to buy anything, and then we just end up like our car full of stuff. So that was nice. And then we had a short in-state trip. So I say short because it wasn't a week long, it was only 4 days long. And it was over my husband's 31st birthday. And I got to meet Shark Baby! Hi, Shay! Hi, guys! It was so fun. Like, we met up at the mall and, like, hung out. I was eating lunch. Walked around. I mean, it was just so nice to actually meet another YouTuber. And since she lives in the state of New Mexico, I thought it was perfect to sort of meet with her. So, I mean, it was totally awesome, and I would highly recommend if you have anybody near you that also does similar vlogging, that you should totally meet up with them, because it's like an instant friend, like just add water. So it was nice to talk to her, and I mean, she's as lovely in person as she is on YouTube. So yeah, it was awesome. That was nice. So lately, Cecilia's been having like a ton of sleep issues, like not sleeping through the night, waking up every 2 to 4 hours, and like, I really can't complain because we've been traveling so much, and our daughter has not had sleep issues since day one. Like, she could have slept through the night starting out of the womb, which was crazy, and I had to wake her up because she was losing so much weight. So yeah, and we think that it's because she's teething. So she has these bumps that are getting larger on her bottom, like both of them are coming in at the same time. And she's getting ready to crawl. She does a little modified army crawl where she goes on her side and then she goes on her other side, and she kind of just like wiggles her way across the room. Or she'll lay on her back and she'll prop up her feet under her butt, and she'll just back scoot. And she rolls everywhere like you do now. She doesn't mind tummy time anymore. She's just, yeah, she has zero eating issues, by the way. She'll eat anything. Like, literally anything. We're giving her organic baby food, Earth's Best, stage 2, that's what she's on. She had vegetable turkey, little dinner thing last night. And then we got her some Gerber organics, and it was like broccoli, zucchini, and something else. And it smelled like broccoli farts. It was disgusting. Like, the grossest thing that you could possibly ever imagine. And she was gobbling it up. She was like, oh, this is delicious. And I was like, oh, God, gross, here you go. Here you go. My friend actually tasted it, and she was like, oh, it doesn't taste bad. It just smells horribly. So, yeah. So it's winter in New Mexico, and it's winter all over the Western Hemisphere. But anyway, it's winter here, and it's like crazy dry because it's the desert. And we noticed that she had like one tiny little dry patch underneath her arm, one of her arms, like shoulder arm area. And I wasn't concerned. I was like, okay, we'll just put more baby oil on it, and well, we use coconut oil, so we'll just put more coconut oil on it. But it started spreading. Come here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And then, so once it started spreading, I was like, we need to take her to the doctor. And they said, oh, that's just eczema. It's really common in dry places. And so she has eczema, and it's starting to clear. And I don't know if you could see, she has eczema on her belly right there. But it's just little red patches. It's not bumpy like it used to be. Oh, woo, woo, woo. Hi, woo, woo. I love you. I love you. Yeah. So we're using, the coconut oil wasn't working. Hi. Hi. So we're using Aveeno eczema lotion and Aquaphor. And that is working wonderfully. It's super thick. Do you see something that you want? Milk? You want milk? So she eats like 3 times a day, and she also nurses like every 4 hours, 4.5 if I'm lucky. And then at night she goes through the night. She's been sleeping 10 hours now for the past 2. Yeah, you're hungry. For the past 2 nights she's been sleeping 10 hours, which is amazing. And we're doing like a modified Ferber method where she'll cry it out for like 3 minutes. And if she's not hysterical, if she's hysterical, then I'm going to go in and like pick her up. So she cries for just a little bit, and then my husband usually comes in and just puts his hand on her belly, and she falls asleep. So we haven't actually had to like pick her up in those 10 hours. Hi, I love you. And let's see what else. Oh, I think that's it. And I think I've done like a lot of update on Cecilia turning 7 months. Dang, she's rolling everywhere. She outgrew her bassinet, so she no longer fits in it. She doesn't sleep in there. Her bumbo was tight before we took her to Oregon, so we really doubt that she's going to be in her bumbo when she goes back to Oregon. Yeah. She's happy. Oh, she knows sign language, so we're teaching her sign language. And when I was a special ed aide, I learned brown bear in sign language because my student was nonverbal. And so I bought her brown bear, and I sign it to her, and she is thrilled by it. She loves it so much. She is like just pumped whenever I bring out that book. And she signs more. That's probably like her regular sign is more, and I usually stop feeding her after a few spoonfuls, and I drop everything and I say more, and she just she gets all crazy. But hers is more like this, you know. She doesn't have that much coordination, so she's just like and I'm like, yeah, that works. And then she does milk, but I don't think she understands what it's for, so she kind of just like milk all the time.